As a quick reminder, dementia is a brain disorder in which long-term damage to the brain causes things like memory loss, defects in behavior, defects in social communication, and altogether just defect in brain function. So that's kind of like what dementia is, and there are different kinds of dementia. All right, so chronic disease is the other reason why people have dementia. And it seems like it's these same chronic diseases that we told you that Black people are more susceptible to. For instance, heart disease, hypertension, strokes. If you've had multiple strokes in the past, it's a problem. If you have diabetes over a long period of time, the chances of you having dementia are so much greater. Even if you've had cancer that was treated, because of the use of chemotherapy and radiotherapy, those things can also cause repeated damage to the brain, which in your latter years can affect you. So chronic disease, chronic means a long term. Chronic disease is one of the topmost risk factors for dementia in your 70s and 80s. And I think you can understand that too. And then I'm going to take it a step further. I've mentioned insulin resistance in the past. We'll probably do an entire episode on insulin resistance. But insulin resistance is when your cells are not readily taking in glucose, or they're not readily responding to insulin, which allows you to take in glucose. So if your cells aren't taking in insulin, if they're not taking in glucose, the glucose levels rise. But also the insulin levels rise because the body is thinking, or the pancreas is thinking, why aren't these cells responding to me? And so the pancreas continues to pump out more and more insulin. So again, your sugar levels are high, your insulin levels are high. The combination of these two things can be a big problem. But the insulin problem, some say is even worse than the sugar problem, believe it or not. And the brain especially has to respond to insulin. And the brain is not responding to insulin, which is a problem on its own. So it's a combination of high sugar levels and high insulin levels. Therefore, insulin resistance can lead to dementia. We're beginning to see that as well. So that's chronic disease as another factor.